Oh, wow. How is everybody today? It is time for some more Great Ace Attorney. We are... We're... Fuck. We're still in the midst of Case 4 of the second game. I think we have a second set of witness testimony that we're going to do before we get to what I can only assume is the next investigation. So, yeah. We're gonna pop right into that. So get your pointer fingers ready, because here we fucking go. Ugh. Ah. Oh, there you are, Otto. Right into it. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Gina. You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I. Possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes. It's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation, or perhaps it was a deliberate omission. Oh dear, if it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on, Dr. Scythe. I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Von Zieks discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Or so perhaps something happened with it. Come to think of it. No notification? Well, I put it up in... I mean, it gets put up in, it's in the Discord, isn't it? Ads. Didn't add everyone in Discord. Yeah, fuck, I didn't read that. Come to think of it, you had trouble with those League men too, didn't you? Mr. Sholmes, you were taken in by their tricks. Tricks! Welcome back. Yeah, there was an add everyone on the Discord. So, I don't know why you didn't get notified. No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth hound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, weren't they? Aren't they? Were they? Were they? In Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. That's right, Zeus. It was me what took them in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen. Didn't care, he just wanted money. Yep. Indeed. Yours truly. So, it's gonna be that pair on the witness stand next, is it? It's already in there. I've got it tagged on both YouTube and on Twitch. Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuthhound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. No. Don't talk with the same brush as you, Sholmes. Yes, well... And there's a whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Von Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, and Lord Von Zieks. And Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we'd arrived at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? Do you plan to keep going after the trial? I plan to go for as long as I can today. Because tomorrow I don't know if I'll be streaming due to the fact that I have a meeting that I have to attend before work shift starts. So it's up in the air on whether or not I will be doing a stream tomorrow. All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Where's Von Zeeks? Why wasn't he in this conversation? Cosmo was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. He was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I've got a feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Yeah, it almost feels like this should be a case 5. Are you ready then, Mr. Sato? Yes! In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the court hearing of Barak Von Zeeks here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Professor Asugi. My lord? Have you summoned the witness as requested? Yes, the 2 members of the Red-Haired League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Bailiff, usher the 2 men into the court. Called him Professor again. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's very strange even to me that I keep doing. I guess it's because Asugi sounds like a very studious name. So my brain just immediately does Professor Papino. These 2 men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. The true mastermind. You may omit your occupations, but state your name now for the court. I am Fabien de Rosset. Oh boy. A descendant of the great de Rosset family from Nice in France. Feels fake. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I'm the 3rd son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. Russo? Both mean red, of course. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school in European nobility. Fuck, man. Those who graduate from Temsik are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alors, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little gray cells in my brain. That is all I'm trying to do, yeah? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? Here's the grand ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of the hilarious brothers. See, couple? Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Eh, che? Are you about to tell me one of your grand anecdotes? Eh, veve! He's no couple. First, I want you to stop calling me this couple. He's not Mama Bruno. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business. Che bello! There it is, the couple's trump card. A furrowed brow. It's deep, eh? It's deep, eh? Couple, the furrow and the meaning of your words. Oh boy. The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Redhead League, You have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui, c'est ça. And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you plan to defend? Aros, I will explain it. No, Capo! Leave it to me! As you see, we both have vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased for this without pity. The Capo here, he has many times behind the schoolhouse, crying like the Stravivante. Where those dogs, one day the world will respect us redheads. Every night he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for the injustice. Thespian Pepino enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw the notice. It was this one, I believe. Entitled, To the Red-Headed League. Wait, c'est ça. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. And that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On the date specified, the red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at the parks specified in the advertisement. And from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. There's the rub. I was like, what are they going to do to make money off of this? There was an app fee. Okay. That's a hell of a pull. And with the money to France. It was a plan most elegant, none. No. It was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk like a coster's orange borrow. And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these 2 men spoke face-to-face with each single person present that day. I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life. Si. And now, every time I see a couple's hair, I feel sick to my stomach. Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. I feel like that's a massive oversight. Like, you should have given them some, like, understanding of why they were brought here, Kazuma. I understand it's, like, state secrets and all that, but, like, the police cabinet wasn't, or, like, the police carriage wasn't secure enough. They have only been shown this photograph. Oh, so they were given some information. Very good. So, Mr. De Rosso and Mr. De Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony to the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course. We are always ready to help with the law. God, the fucking noodles that the tiny one eats is really, they look really tasty. I had bacon and eggs for breakfast. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assemble in the park on Lime Street that day. I don't recall this man in the photograph. Eh, Capo? None. I don't remember him. Obviously, he is dead now, but I assure you, he was not in the park. Hello, this victim is nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. Oh. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui. I am quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody came to the park. This I can promise. Must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances. Oofa! With this attitude, we get nowhere, huh? He's really a sulkin now. Hey, Mario! This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh? No, that is ridiculous. Well, there's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed. Brits bullying the Irish again. You know how it goes. They just can't help it. Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. And I really can't speak because I think the Irish were heavily bullied against here in the States, too. You know, when things were starting out. Ah, yes, my lord.
Hold it!
1,000 people. That's a very big crowd. It was quite a spectacle. The redheads had come from all over the capital. See, the capo here, he has the magnetismo animale, eh? Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, it would be the capo. I would be the capo. All those people wanted the money, Peppino. The 4 pounds per week. You're suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did. Because everyone of them paid us 5 shillings. We take their names and we take their money. And we take their address as well. Oh, yeah? Then I tell them we take us some days to let them know by a post. Finito. Maybe 2 minutes a person. Wipe your mouth. We started early in the morning and and we stopped late in the night. So you earned 5,000 shillings in one day. That's a small fortune. Would have thought that there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with. One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. That means that he lost 5 shillings on this deal. But I don't recall the man in the photograph.
Hold it!
Hey, look at this photograph. He doesn't look at all familiar. No, I don't think so. This is a wig, eh? He was trying to trick us. Do not like the people who are trying to trick the other people. Yeah, Peppino? Says the con artist. If between them they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair, it would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. No, senor. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. I can't wait till we get like a shot from behind, and I get to see him standing on his little boxes. I can't wait. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. He's not going to give the court a definite, it seems. Hey, Capo, you didn't see a man like this, huh?
Hold it!
But according to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then, you can't actually remember every single face. How are you certain that this particular man wasn't present? Normally, the red hair is very distinct, yeah? But not when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around. Then it's just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could give us, maybe then we could recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, huh? If there is a man with with a red hairpiece, but his mustache did not match the color, then I do not think that I could have forgotten him. Kazuma said that these two had only been shown the photograph, and they'd been told nothing else at all. But what if I fed them one other detail about the victim, for example? You know, if there's anything that would have made him stand out, I certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember the situation. But what if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Do you remember a man who's eaten incessantly? Not really. I was looking only as the head of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Or a spaghetti. Oh, me, I love the spaghetti. He's Italian! Do you get it? Really? I had no idea. Tell them again what you said before, Peppino. The capo si. I say it again and again. Okay. Hold on.
Hold it!
I just want to try the other options. He wouldn't have just come out and said he was an inspector, so his name? Inspector not knowing the man is going to say, but what if I told you that his name was Gregson? So man is a photograph is a Monsieur Gregson? Yes. Names. They are boring. I do not listen to them. Oh. It's not a real interview, huh? It's just for a show. Why would I remember the names? That's right. This changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as we have already said. I see. It seems there's little to be gained by pursuing this point further. I guess that's an indicator that nothing is going to be important, so why did you even put that up there? Or, I don't know.
Hold it!
Okay. But we only have your word for that. Z, but what else can we do, huh? True. Oof. Yeah, we are not having much of fun these days. First we are arrested, and now we are shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we say. We are the victims here. Are you? Hey, capo? No, you were caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people. Eh! You had to bring that up, eh? That's not fair. Hey, capo!
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? Calvo! You promised not to say, eh, capo? After we had taken all the money that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets and the ferry to the Donquois to my companion here. But he bought them for the wrong day. Oops. See, but an easy mistake to make, huh? The first 30. Boof. I have no sympathy for you. We were on all day late for the boat because of your stupidity. And it's only because of this that we got that the so-called great red-headed detective caught us. Capo, you know what I think? This is the work of God. It's a holy punishment, eh? Peppino, for the last time, this is not holy punishment. This is wholly your fault. Ah! Don't blame God for your unholy mistakes. You are making me sick with the anger. Maybe I make a mistake, eh? But when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster. And I've seen the evidence. They haven't told us much that we didn't already know. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet, these two both claim they didn't see him. I have to say, they don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is their speciality. They may be lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. Surely, if they were truly experts in deception, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yes, you do have a point there. It seems to me like we need more information. Definitely. So, I am supposed to continue pressing on that one?
Hold it!
Would Gregson have just walked up and said, "Hey, I'm an inspector from the yard. Hi, how's it going?" I told you that the red hair piece was actually a detective. As he meant it's a photograph? A detective? Yes. I fucking hate this game. Why is this the right one? It would appear that he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but Z's changes nothing. God damn it.
Excuse me.
Yes, Peppino? Something to add, Mr. De Rossi? It makes sense later. I mean, I get that it makes sense later, but it doesn't make sense now, which was why I didn't continue to press when I should have. Especially when the judge was like, well, it doesn't seem like this is important anymore, which gave me like a slight indicator of like, oh yeah, no, this isn't important even though it's here. It's just a red herring. But that's wrong. Yeah, see, I am always adding something. Parmesan, oil, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Eh? What did he just say, eh? About the detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You haven't said enough already. But why, Capo? What's the problem? There was a man who said, I'm an inspector from Scotland Yard. Damn it, Gregson! You're supposed to be a professional. What? Good lord. Look at him on his box. Love it. Order! Explain this volate face in your testimony, witness. What? Volate? It's simple. A man who was at the park said to us that he was an inspector. Laughs and cries so hard. He's supposed to be good at his job. God damn, no wonder he's dead. There was no such man. Made, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh? I have forgotten nothing. Nobody like this came to the park. Basta, Capo, basta! You beat me at many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. Like I said, when is the time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster. But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up!
Objection!
Bro is trying like his best to tell his friend, don't talk about the guy. Oh man, we got a double bang. Ugh. Drop that. The damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. Yes, there was a man who came to the park and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be sure? Because, to start with, the face was completely different. See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was clean-shaven, his eyes were sadder, his chin was thinner. No resemblance whatsoever, then. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you're really a detective, then show us the proof. CZ, the capo here, he does not take on no offense. But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector identification? It is most unconvincing. Sorry, my lord. Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question. Yeah. Wait, Pepe. Turns out my other device was dead, so I can't watch on both. No, it's okay. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, his papers were fake. Certo capo, you are a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? He became very annoying. He said that you are under investigation. So we took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. It was fantastico. And look, here is the identification. So you stole it from the man. He added the comment. He made us very scared. The story is insane with future knowledge. We'll keep that future knowledge bottled up. But he was not who he said he was. Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence. But I like them. I have a theory on who it is. And I'm sure that this will give us a little bit of a closer look as to who we're dealing with. Metropolitan Police Warrant Card. Well, I suppose we should see what the inspector's identification looks like inside. Damn, no picture? I'm disappointed. Definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? This Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me. But how? The Department of Identification number, the Department and Identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say? I know this seems incredible, but yes, I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? It's actually Gregson's warrant. Oh no! Oh man. Alright, is there anything else important? I think that's all we're gonna get. Alright. So what was your theory? I thought it was, oh, whoops. Brain, remember. I thought it was this girl's wife, husband, who's, yeah, him. I thought it was Mr. Vigil. Like he had made some kind of fake card for him. It still probably is Mr. Vigil, just to be totally honest, because, you know, he's clean shaven, he's got the thin chin and all that shit. And he just, like, lifted Gregson's card off of. Damn it. My theory that he's the killer is just growing. Okay, so... Ah, shit, wrong button. I mean, now that we know that the book was his, it feels like the right answer is to throw it on here.
Objection!
And I'm wrong. Well, that statement was contradictory in a number of ways, and I think you'll find. In a number of ways, you said. That's right, my lord, in a number of ways. What if it was these buffoons that accidentally killed him? I don't think that they would have been able to set up such an elaborate scene so quickly. because they wouldn't have had much time considering they were supposedly in the park the entire day. And Gregson apparently had been dead for a while. Okay, so it's gotta be the police card. Don't recall the man in this photographic capo. Lord, the victim is nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is all your fault. We got caught in the first place. Is it here? I called him the true mastermind for a reason. Called who? Are you talking about? Are you talking about this dude? Or are you talking about Mr. Vigil? I mean, we now know that, you know, we could technically pin Gregson there. I can't think of anything else that would be relevant at the moment. But the question is which one do I throw it on? No, Peppino? Oh. Is it here?
Objection!
Okay. Okay. Alright, I want my pip back. Give me back my pip. I just said the wrong thing. That's all. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade. Why Miss Lestrade? What is your intention here, Counsel? Is this really a fake or is it genuine? That's the question, which we can't answer ourselves. Isn't Pip what Layton calls it? It's probably where I got it from. Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. Hold it! That is the boss's! No question about it! It can't be! As I suspected. The undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson carrying out an incognito investigation. Sutalos! He literally fell on his ass. I love it. Ora! Ora! But if the boss had his identification stolen, he would have reported it straight away. I mean, he was always on me about it. If I lost something, reported it once, he say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Physically? What are you saying? Unable to... You're not suggesting... Yes, it's quite possible he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No! Even I wouldn't say something as weird as that, and I'm a defender as well. Or I was. Defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered, at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? Or just you, Peppino, because your other guy's dead. What? I know nothing. I've done nothing. Pull yourself together, Peppino. Montu, you can behave a little more like a master criminal than that, non? Now I wish I had to return to Italia. Stop crying, Peppino, please. Otherwise, Lume, stop your whining and start talking. And I believe I done nothing. I done nothing. Motherfucker admitted to being a criminal. They admitted to being criminals at the very beginning of this. They were like, yeah, no, we were trying to extort a bunch of money out of people. We took 5 shillings from them. But you will tell everything or face the worst possible outcome. We're gonna send you right to the gallows. Right here. Right now. We'll dry your eyes and testify again. about these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. Wah! Crying out loud. Because it definitely couldn't have been Gregson himself that had the papers, because for one, he probably wouldn't have shown them, and two, they would not have been able to force him out of the park. Like, no way in hell. Hell, Cosmo will behead himself. Yep, he's got his sword back. He took it from us, the bastard. The truth is we took him prisoner and kept him for the night in our secret hideout. What? Even though I did not think it was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. We took the man's identification from him and shut him in a room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go. He spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison, really. What? He's dual wielding. Yeah, he's got the two swords now. This is outrageous. You were in prison, the man? But no, see, no. It was not like at the prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Eh, capo? That's still kidnapping. Yup. It was never part of my plan. I swear it. Oof. So you think this was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong and by one little day. Do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it. No. Por favor, capo. It's not fair. Excuse me. That still false imprisonment. Yes, no, they still kidnapped and imprisoned a person. Whether it was comfortable imprisonment or not, does not matter. You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. Oof! I don't believe this. How could he have been a real detective? Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent a night confined in the pair's hideout. The truth is, we took him prisoner. Do you realize what you're saying? You have to believe me. I never intended for that to happen. But I am sure the detective did not intend it either. Do you think? But there was nothing else I could do. See, nothing else. If this was their first crime for a couple, he was at the end of his wits. I have told you before, Peppino, that this is not the way we describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park at Lime Street. We rented the place for 2 days. It was an inspired idea by Capo here. An impulsive idea, I would say. No, not impulsive, inspired. Eh, Capo? What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino? And it was in the home described that you confined Inspector Gregson, was it? What you have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector. That doesn't quite add up, though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? No, you are right, but we couldn't be completely certain. Watching these supposedly grown men, I would assume. Hold on, I can verify this. I can't verify this. It won't let me look at people right now. Even though I didn't think it was a real detective, I wasn't sure. Too scared? Why? Because YID comes to the park. We didn't know. They're in their 20s. Okay. Yeah, no, they're grown men. I'm not saying like, oh man, grown men shouldn't cry. It's just like, damn, this is really hitting them and it's all starting to come together. I'm like, wow, we fucked up bad. There was a chance that he had seen through my plan. And if that was the case, he would go straight to the police station to blow a whistle on us. Even if he was just feigning to be an inspector, he was up to no good, huh? Oh, without a doubt. I think most people would agree that it's the two of you who were up to no good. Yeah, this shit would be traumatizing. Oh, yeah. Like, the guy you falsely imprisoned ends up dead. It's like, oh, fuck, no. Wait. Well, see, you may be right. Hey, capo. The point is that we were not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place. See, I ask myself the same question. You're writing down the names and addresses of all the people who took 5 shillings from that day. I have forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me. CC, address, Scotland Yard, Homicide Division, he said. The fuck? There's no way that was Gregson. Also, the basically guaranteed threat of prison. Yeah. What? He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude, I just politely asked him why he said it. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. Not long afterwards, he took out his identification. What was Inspector Gregson playing at? You're under the impression that this was actually Inspector Gregson. And he's dead, so they may be executed if they're deemed guilty. Yep. Now the court, what happened next? Took him back to your hideout, you say? See, we did that. I might have to go pee here in a second. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna do this one this one right here, and then I'm gonna run to the bathroom really fast. That being the identification book here, correct? See, that is the one. What made you believe it was a forgery? I've never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this man. Allora, I was thinking, it must be a falso, a capo. It is just as Peppino said. We were convinced it was not genuine. So together, the hilarious brothers, we took the man captive. All we did was shove him inside a locked room. Then we made preparations to transport all the money. In for a penny, in for a pound. Alright, watch Della Russo cry for a bit while I go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Shit. Hold it! Yeah. What do you mean by a little tussle, exactly? Hmm? Buff, it was nothing. Just a minor incident. The Fosso inspector, he was a real piece of work. Hey, capo. What happened? Oof, it was a disaster. We gave him a nice room, and what does he do, in the middle of the night, he tries to escape through the ventilator. He was trying to be sus, Your Honor. Get him! Attack on battery. Yep. Can you blame him? We chased him, bonsoir, and we caught him again. Can you blame us? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? So, who do you think we are? Of course not. I simply caught hold of him again and took him back to the room. I shot him. I gave him a gun.
Excuse me.
Peppino! Mr. De Rossi, is something wrong? Welcome in, Barra. Eh, me? Something Mr. De Russo just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. Oh, what was that all about? Calvo! At times like this, you don't want to have the couple after you, believe me. And I speak up from personal experience. Personal experience? That is enough, Peppino. There's no need to say no more. The truth is, the night before we put the Red-Headed League into action, I was scared. It was not fair that couple. It was not fair to the couple, but I tried to run away. It's a shame that you didn't manage it. But the couple here, he came after me like a turbine, eh? And he dragged me back into the house, kicking and screaming. I miss the days when events made you think that they'd gone up the ventilation shaft. What's the difference? I don't understand what the difference is. I still have the bruises to prove it, eh, capo? Bruises, you say? Wait! Wait a minute! No! No fucking way! Are you saying our fat-lipped boy from before is the one who fucking impersonated it? That is so much more suspect now. You want to see, huh? You want to see my fantastical bruises? It is enough, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What to do? I show you or I don't. I show you or I don't. I'm talking about the scene from The Phantom Menace. No, it's more fun to go with sus. You do. Now. Laura, if everybody wants to see, then I do it. Ta-da! He fucking almost hung me! With my own spaghetti. I can actually pull that, because they've already done it in here. So it's all, I'm just co-opting the terrible stereotypes. Echo, you see, it is very visible, eh? That red ring around your neck. You got that from when you were dragged back into the house? See, the couple, sometimes he's a very rough and I said that's enough. Peppino proceeded to striptease. No! Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we were talking about. You have my word. Yes. What is your opinion, counsel? About the red ring on Mr. De Rosa's neck? It's fucking important! Hey, yo? Huh? What? Was I calling him Mario earlier? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, I did do a little It's a Me Mario, didn't I? Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Hey, capo, you see? Everyone is interested in what I say, huh? I was trying to... Thank you. No, go away. No, stop. Fine. Look, that's a heart. Whoopsie daisy. I did it. Fuck. What did the judge say? I was trying to fix something. Very well. You will amend your testimony as requested. CC, if you really want to know. Look at these! He tried to escape, but the couple put the collar on him and dragged him back. Like what he did to me. See?
Hold it!
Check your profiles now. Can I? Oh, I can. They even got the little red mark in there. Look at that! So you were pretending to be Gregson, huh? 26 and 25. Okay. We don't know any of their ages. Are you saying the red mark was caused by... CC! A big collar made from the leather. Oh my god, he actually tried to hang him. A leather collar? Is this true, Mr. De Rosa? What? We had a Saint Bernard at home when I was younger. Dog? It is a souvenir from that time. It was a very strong chain. A strong chain. And you put that around your friend's neck. I'm sorry. I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. Didn't have to tie the chain of the leg to the leg of the bed. Although I would not have tried to run again. Hey, buddy, what's up? How you been? It's a big fucking collar. I mean, if it's a French bulldog, it would make sense. You didn't do that to Inspector Gregson as well, did you? Treat the people like a equal, is the capoeira's motto, eh? It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden. The capoeiras are tough, but the capoeiras are rough. It was a Saint Bernard. They're still big dogs. Saint Bernards are huge. I would believe that they had a collar size that could go around a person's neck for sure. I shouldn't have done it. So, the following morning, when you released the inspector, he had a red ring around his neck, just like a me. Peppino. Silvas Valde. I don't know how to say that. Leave it now. Now you know, the couple here, you don't want to tangle with him, eh? But for the inspector, it's not so bad. So, I already have an idea of what I need to throw now. Yeah, clearly shows that there's no red ring around the inspector's neck. I was saying it because it was, it's big because of the dog. Oh. I see. I understand. I get what you mean now. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I can hear the spit that you're flapping. He spent the night in a nice room, nothing like a prison. Oi! You took away the man's freedom. However comfortable you make it sound, you were still holding him prisoner. If you say that, then I say this. There is something that takes away our freedom too. The lack of money. So we are the prisoners as well, huh? All of us. Yes, but not by law. Huh? No money, no freedom. This is the truth. It makes me mad. It makes me sad. What can we do? Well, if you feel so disenfranchised, take money to court. It'll cost you, of course. Oofa, there you have it. You see, that is why we need the Red-Headed League to fight for the justice. Perhaps he has a point. No, Mr. Naruto. All we did was to give the man a comfortable place to sleep for the night. And you say it was a prison, huh? Perhaps he has a point again. No, he doesn't. No, again, Mr. Naruto. You should have heard him snoring. Monday, if anyone was disturbed, it was us. We're not the bad guys here. I have proof. Not much going on, really. Their testimony does make me wonder, you know. About this pocket watch belonging to the inspector, I mean. Ah, yeah. The one that he treasured so much, apparently. He was confined, but not restrained, as the witnesses were implying. He still would have been able to wind up his watch. That's very true, yes. So did Inspector Gregson actually die while he was being held captive by these redheads? In which case, is it possible that these two young men are responsible for Inspector Gregson's... To be honest, I find that hard to believe. Me too. Perhaps we could try to find out exactly what happened. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. Took the man's identification and shut him in the room. Tried to escape. I feel confident, but I'm not that confident. Like, I feel like it's the picture. I feel like it's the picture on this one where they're like, he would have had the red mark too. But clearly in this picture, this one picture here, he doesn't have it. I was right. Unrelated, I have a relentless need to own a big-ass monitor lizard. Yeah, go for it. So the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. No, it was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only. However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is that, counsel? I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. Mr. Inspector Gregson. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck. Eh? But that is a mistake. No, that makes no sense. Yeah. It was me who took the collar off the man in the morning. And I saw the red bruise on his neck, just like I have. Given that the mark is still clearly visible on this witness's neck, I would expect to see bruising on the victim who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. Indeed. And he is most particular. But what do we tell you, huh? We say this from the beginning many times. Where? Oui, Pepito was right. The man in the photograph is someone different than the man we held captives at night! Man, they're going to prison for so many things. It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park in Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all. If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. The prosecution made that assertion itself. Shit! I did! We also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day. Which surely means that we can't divorce the two events completely. The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson who these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person come into the possession of the real Inspector's identification? Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel? The whole thing defies logic. It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo. Because those are the facts. The facts cannot lie. No, the facts cannot lie. Even when they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park in the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. Good gracious! Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't you try to come on to me now, Kazuma. Keep your skin-tight suit over there right now. I'm mad at you still for taking the sword and leaving us and doing all this shit. So, why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is that you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. De Rosso or and De Rossi? An imposter! When it became Toxic Yaoi. Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner on that day could not have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time. No! On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is, who exactly is this man in the park on Lime Street, found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification? See, that's all right. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man is, the couple dragged him from the pillar to a post with a dog collar. Tu Pepino! It was not so harsh as you say, huh? So who was the falso inspector? Hey, who was he? Clearly, defense has an idea about that. We do. About the true identity of the man these two imprisoned that night. I have an idea. When do we get prison, Yuri? Well, that's happening right now if you ship, Ryunosuke and Von Zietz. I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Who did the witness encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson? Take that!
Take that!
But it's me. Isn't that... one of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passers-by.
Objection!
What on earth would a street seller be doing with the police inspector's identification papers? Witnesses! Is this the man or not? What has happened to his lip? Oh, so his lip isn't normally like that? He doesn't actually have a fat lip all the time, huh? Yeah, Prison Yuri was case 2-1. That was Prison Yuri, yeah. Oh, I read that as Yaoi. Does he know what Yuri means? No, I do. I know the difference between the two of them. My brain turned Yuri into Yaoi because I'm stupid. Yes, no, Prison Yuri was 2-1. Oh. Ah? Z, this man is not for the Red-Headed League, eh? He is looking for a Twisted Lip League, no? Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. It seems improbable, yes, but not undeniable fact. But one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. Eh? What? Defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. Read Yaoi, but said Yuri. Yep, that's how my brain goes. I will read something specifically, and then it'll turn it into something else, because I probably have dyslexia in some form. Bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom. Like right there. It clearly says bring. My brain saw bring, pulled that into my memory, and out came B. It's just what happens. Immediately. I'm stupid. Hey, look at me. I got a bruise on my neck. Hey, Bruise Brothers. Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. Identical to that of the witness beside him. Oh, what's going on here, eh? I've always had this, me. It's a birthmark, isn't it? Yeah? That's the way you want to go with this? A birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you. It's something about an inspector again. But I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong as usual. You're denying all knowledge of it. Well, of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh? Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. DeRosso and Mr. DeRossi. I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Do we have any choice? We're in bigger trouble, eh, Capo? You've separated the boys. It's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony. The man who claimed to be an inspector that day was definitely not this man. Oh yeah? That's right, see! You think we will forget these grand lips? I never leave Fresno Street, alright? I have no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, me. No kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that? Just look at me, hey! Does it look like I could carry off a disguise with a face like this? See, Balrog's got my back. They also read Yaoi. And would certainly appear that we have the wrong man. Does it? What have I been telling you, huh? There's no need for this pointless testimony. That's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. How would I have come by a police inspector's identification book anyway? Well, yes, that's hard to explain, but... A brief cross-examination, I think, counsel. Very brief. Isn't there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something? No, we're the main character. They never do. I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Susato. Cosmo believes in us a little bit, I think. Read and read are See, okay, there's my other problem. My brain almost turned homophonic into homophobic. And that's why I was pausing, because I was trying to fucking process. I was like, what do you mean read and read are homophobic? What does that mean? It's like, no, it's homophonic. Like, it's just fucking, it's my brain. The man who claims is definitely not this man. I will remember his fat lip. So you say. But how can you be quite so certain? No, I'm not homophobic. It's There is no need to hurt your hands on the desk, monsieur. Surely the reason is obvious, no? Because I have never seen never before seen the lips like this. Nevertheless, there's a clear red mark around Mr. Gossip's neck. And it looks very much like that left behind on the neck of your colleague by your prized collar. Ah, mon Dieu! This word is like you're trying to wring my neck. It does look very much like on my neck, though, eh? No, this is a birthmark, lad. The biggest lips in London and a neck to die for. Aye, they broke the mold when they made me. From the first time in my life, I feel lucky to have been born with the red hair. I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London. So you maintain that you've never seen this man before? Oui, c'est ça. I swear to it by the flames of my hair. So fierce pride has outgrown the frustration with your hair now, has it? I don't mean the yeah. What? Multiple AAA games and still can't understand the yaois. Check my head. I'm so fucking. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm just gonna play the game. You guys have fun. Well, yes, I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either. That is what I am saying. For some reason, it makes me eat. How did Fabian call it? An eclair. You know? I've never seen the hair as black as yours either, though. Likewise, I've never seen red hair like yours until I came to Britain. See, maybe it is a national trait, huh? Maybe all the people from this man's country have grand lips. He's from London. No, lad, I was born right in Fresno Street, and I've never left. Oof. That's the problem, see. He definitely didn't go to the park on Lime Street that day, Mr. Gossip. Now, how many times do I have to say, eh? Staring at a man's lips. They're fascinating in the worst kind of way. So, you heard of the Redhead League, had you? Yeah, you don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going off in town. I sold that tasty tidbit to a fair few redheads that came past me. Yeah, between us, I even got Sandwich to cough up for it. Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts. Who knows? But as you can see, my own hair's not got a hint of red in it. And in any case, Fresno Street's my patch. You wouldn't catch me sidling off to some other part of town. No, sir, not likely. Oh, yeah?
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, what you got? Yo. Mr. De La Rosa. Oui, can I help you? Did Mr. Gossip's word just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? No, I have not a thought in my head. It was the other day, when I was looking for a place near the park. A small house or something. To be the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes? I visited an housing agent on Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to see agent. What? Mr. Gossip! With a housing agent? Wait, he had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly discussing terms. No. You're mistaken, chum. I never left Fresno Street, me. Like I said before. You've mistaken me for someone else. Someone with the same face. No. The capo is right. I remember it too. He was paying the man with the banknotes. With notes? Like I said, that wasn't me. I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had so much money. So I looked at the name on the papers. And what name was written? Mr. Gossip? No. This man, he lies. He tells that his name is no name. But in fact, his name is Hugh Bone! Damn it! He's better than Mr. Gossip, I think, see? So... Alright, my theory that was Gregson's, just fake pseudonym is... Okay. Well, Mr. Hugh Bone, nice to meet you. Well, you know where your place is. No! I'm a peddler of tidbits of information, like I said, on Fresno Street, and that's it. I don't know much like folks talking about my personal life. Indeed. And it is not the intention of this court to invade the privacy of the witnesses. Oh, it is very much our intention to invade this witness's privacy, considering who owns the room Gregson is dead in. Very well. I wish to respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned names shall be redacted from all court records of this trial. Assuming no objection. Thank you. Thank God. I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned is of very deep significance to this case. Good gracious. Do you similarly object, Prosecutor Asuki? As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings. Well, like never! In what capacity? It's only been said a single time before I don't blame the judge. Oh yeah, no, same. We were told Hugh Bone was the one who owned the room, or leased the room multiple times. Hugh Bone. The name of the leaseholder of the room. Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. I suggest, sir, that you start talking. Well, alright. I suppose that might be the case, eh? Don't you just get that little jaunty pose right there? So your real name is Hugh Bone. Just between us, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but there's no finer peddler of tidbits in town. Bone rhymes with soon. Hugh Boone? Hugh Boone? Hugh Boone. That doesn't sound as good as Hugh Bone, but alright. So I just happen to be able to afford a grubby little room in a falling down backstreet townhouse. You do? And once every 6 months I go and pay the rent to an agent on Lime Street. I remember now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Hey! If either of us is a vulgar, it's not a me. Sink again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before? It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everyone else is concerned. No fuss. Yet there was a dead man in a room you own. You will update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone. If I must. I'm waiting for, like, his whole face to deflate and change. To be like, oh, it was you the whole time. So, the leaseholder Scotland Yard has been looking for since the body was discovered. And has been under our noses all along. That's just how it goes. I rent the room where that fellow was found, it's true. For what difference it makes? It makes a lot of difference, dude. So, you live in that room, presumably, do you? No, I don't live there. Well, what do you think? There's no bed, is there? Just a desk. Then why would you want to rent it? Well, I don't think I should have to say, really. What the fuck do you mean? Then how about the notice board in there? Which was covered from top to bottom in confidential documents only the police should have had access to. Ah, no, that board's not mine. The inspector must have brought it along. It's the only other bits and bobs that belong to me. The desk and the chair and that. Chair? People don't generally carry enormous note boards around with them. And the real question is, why was Inspector Gregson killed there, in your room? Well, obviously, I've not the faintest idea. I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. It seems to me that Mr. Boone would rather as little as is known about his room as possible for some reason. It does come across that way. And more importantly, knowing that the scene of the crime is actually his room completely changes things. In particular, there's one part of his testimony that's really bothering me now. That's how I'm finally going to undo this man. I'm all alone in the world. Shit!
Hold it!
You mean you have no family? No, none at all. I'm sorry. I just had a fucking brain blast. Motherfucker. So I spend my days in Fresno Street peddling tidbits to passersby. Hoping, just between us, that is, that eventually someone else with lips like mine will come along. I don't think so. You may be right. Anyway, that mark on your neck is just too much of a coincidence for us to ignore. Well, what's a fella to do then, eh? If you don't believe me, well, we're at an impasse. And there's nothing I can do but flick my lip. Looks like I'm not going anywhere here unless I can produce some proof. You're basically saying I got dressed up and posed as some fancy inspector, aren't you? Well, it's beyond me now. It's beyond me how you think I could do that. So he just like gives himself a fat lip and a busted up nose every day? Whew. Just look at me, eh? Does it look like I can carry off a disguise with a face like this?
Hold it!
Maybe you could say, with a mustache or a beard to cover up that lip? Perhaps. But if I was going to stick some fake facial hair on to cover up this fine specimen, I'd end up looking like his lordship over there, wouldn't I? Pardon? I assure you my lips are entirely unremarkable. And I would ask that you not cast such scrutinizing looks in my direction, Counsel. Sorry, my lord. My imagination got the better of me. Now, Inspector Gregson did wear a mustache, of course. You're right, he did. So perhaps he was hiding something himself. He could barely have hidden a crumb in a mustache that size. And anyways, the detective we spoke with had no facial hair at all. ZZ, the capo is right. He was a clean-shaven. It certainly seems beyond the realms of possibility that this witness could have disguised himself as the victim. Ad's coming. Hey, it does it, and it is. That's the extent of their testimony, is it? What are you feeling, Mr. Naruto? Well, what Mr. Boone says is undeniable. It would be all but impossible to hide those lips in any form of disguise. Perhaps, yes. But nevertheless, the mark around his neck is equally undeniable. And it's identical to the one that Mr. De Rossi suffered. I seem to be forgetting something. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, now I think I'm forgetting something. I had an idea of what I needed to throw next and where I was going to angle it, but now you've made me second-guess myself. Thanks. Yes, that's true. But why does this whole disguise idea keep playing on my mind? I feel...
Objection!
Fuck! Wait. I'm alone in the world and for me... Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Shut up. Wait, hold on.
Objection!
Found it! If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why this was among the sparse furnishings. We found this photograph in the room. Ah! I presume, as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you, does it not? Oh, well... Mr. Boone, drop the pretense and tell the court exactly who you really are. I don't know what you mean. I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says, leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life has no bearing on this case. Kazuma, if you believe that, then you're more stupid than I remember. Because it's simply not possible for him to impersonate Inspector Gregson. How can you be so sure? Then explain this hot pick. Just look at the man. No amount of disguise would ever hide these unmissable features. Yeah, it's surprising that. But what if we were to look at it the other way around? What do you mean? Yes, Counsel, what do you mean? Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is itself part of an elaborate disguise. Then hiding that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly unpenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Boone? Ah! The witness! Are you still hiding the truth from this court? If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be... Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. I mean, and to us, yes, but like, there's many people who could have been. The defense believes that he can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court. No, please, no. Very well then, Counsel. What is the true identity of this peddler who goes simply by the name of Mr. Gossip? Do we have an image of him? We do! Take that! Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil. Yeah! I don't recall that name, Counsel. Who is this Mr. Vigil? I love this character. It's really interesting that he's like 3 levels deep in disguises. It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. The woman in this photograph is in fact, this is Miss Vigil. Mrs. I was forget. What? From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the 2 red-headed lead men. And last night, you were put up by the prosecution services in preparation for testifying in this trial. Because we'd been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were all homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife, who's been beside herself with worry waiting for you at the Vigil residence. Now, just hold on a minute. I don't have the first idea what I'm talking about. Really? It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. No, please. Bailiff, bring soap, a sponge, and a wash bowl at once. Shove his face in. Rip those lips off his face. Mr. DeRosso and Mr. DeRossi, you will restrain the witness. Man, this is unethical. Oi, my lord, wait. What? No, stop. Get off, please. Don't! I love characters with brain damage. Dun 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 dun! Oh, that wasn't necessary. Damn, dude. Where'd you get those prosthetics? Well, they are now seeing your true features, I presume. Damn, they even gave him a change of clothes. Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face. His eyes are different, too. Damn, what a disguise. It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. This has all been a very elaborate deception. So, witness, tell the court, have you seen this man before? I don't believe it, but... See! There's no question. This is the inspector we saw in the park. Extraordinary! On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson, who appeared before Mr. Delarusso and Delarossi in the park, was you, disguised as the inspector. Or rather, was you imposing as the inspector in no disguise at all. Well, in a wig. Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as the chief warder at the Barclay prison. Chief warder? And your career had promise. Why would you quite possibly have become why you would quite possibly have become the future governor of the prison? Why couldn't my brain read that? Sad Irishman. What on earth have you been doing peddling tittle-tattle on Fresno Street? Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison. 10 years? 10 years! I'm really dreadfully sorry about all of this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil. And you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago? So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from? Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented. Well, evidently there's a great deal under the surface here. I'll explain everything. Kind of. I'll tell you how this wretched life has I'll tell you how wretched my life has become. I feel so bad for this man. Same, because I know that the situation that's put him here was definitely one that wasn't entirely under his control. Unless he, very purposely tried, to make it so that the professor didn't die in hopes that he would escape because he believes that the professor was actually innocent. Which is a very huge possibility that it was, fake. I mean, we'll find out. As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment as Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for a new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagement at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you are the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I have never told her. I opened an account in the bank under the name of Hugh Boone. I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the very crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right. A place from which I would emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler. And transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine. I was quite puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room, but that explains it. But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons. 2! 2, boy! 2! And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. Bro, you're in a closed court. Almost nothing of this is gonna get out. So, I mean, you could have let the dog off the leash, so to say. So instead, you decided to conceal your occupation from them. Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell to a passing gentleman, even at 6 pence apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison. Very true. To have kept your family in comfort despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment. It was all thanks to Inspector Gregson. Oh, yeah? What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth? It was some years after I invented Boone and begun my other life as a street seller. The inspector, that is, recognized me one day. Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours? I knew him from my time working at the prison. So he's the killer. I was leaning towards that until this moment. Because a small part of me is starting to think that him using Inspector Gregson's papers to impersonate him probably was a plan that the two of them worked out. And it just went wrong because Bro decided to show his hand right away. And be like, I'm an inspector of the yard, and like that blew up on him. And then sometime between that time and him getting like released is when Gregson was like killed by someone. Like we're not anywhere close to the end of this case. I can fucking feel it. When he saw what I had become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. And one day, he asked me if I could carry out a secret assignment for him. A secret? What was it? I was to impersonate the inspector. He's voguing on us. What? Impersonate him? We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. Visit Orsky's tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress. There's always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. And on those occasions, he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My instructions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. And for those services, he compensated me financially. Scotland Yard inspector willingly relinquishing his identification into your care with intent to deceive? That's, as I'm sure I need not point out, a very serious criminal offense. But why? What was the point of you impersonating him? I truthfully do not know. All I can say is the inspector warned me on numerous occasions. Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if I end up a croaker. Well, you did right by that. In time, he started bringing papers with him to the room as well. Became something of a second office for him. So, in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park in Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me. Acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my Boone disguise and went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away. Well, it would seem this confession completely destroys the defense's case. Yeah, a little bit. Explain yourself, Prosecutor Asugi. I learned a friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on the day before his corpse was discovered, at the hands of these two red-headed League men when they imprisoned the inspector. But no, that can't be. Stop it. After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park that day. It was me. Oh, goodness. Finally, we have clarity. We had nothing to do with the murder of the inspector. And merci, Monsieur de la Defense, for proving it. What? Ah! I mean, yeah, but this also still pulls into question whether or not Van Siegs actually did it, and there's no real proof. Order! Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses had no involvement in the murder of the victim, as proven somewhat ironically by the defense. I hereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Baby girl would never! We already know that! Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness. Kazuma? What question, counsel? It concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been present at the very significant execution that was carried out at the time. 10 years ago. The execution of the Professor! Genshin Asugi! It's trauma time! Everybody get your snacks, get your crying hankies. You know, it's about to be trauma. I want to know exactly what your involvement was. This doesn't feel relevant to the case. Oh! Answer me, man. One moment, counsel. Is this related to the current case? Shit. Naturally, Your Honor. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked. I have to sound the word out terribly. Does the defense concur, counsel? Kazuma. You're not yourself. You're not as calm and collected as usual. Poor Kazuma-sama. No wonder he's acting this way. Mr. Vigil's memory of what happened 10 years ago would tell the tale of Genshin Asugi's last moments. His own father. I know. I do understand that. But even so... Prosecutor Asugi. Oh, there's that toxic yaoi. Do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death? I need you to trust me. Please. Very well. Then the defense has no objection. I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness. The truth is, I remember very little of that time. You've forgotten? He's been doing a lot. I'm sorry to say. Yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. But for some particular reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy. Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? 10 years is a long time. Yes, it is. That is a trauma response. Yes, it is. But to have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job? Something fucked must have happened. You're right, Susato. Something fucked must have happened. Yes, you're right. Not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know. The human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily. Which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. Sorry? The human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. When we experience pain and suffering that we feel, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories and seal it away. Sometimes our brain brings it back and reminds you of that one time in high school where you did the thing and then you just cringe really hard. No matter how much you try to pat it down. It never truly leaves us. Last of his hobble. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, the fragile spirit may finally be crushed. But I really don't... Kazuma-sama. But if it must be crushed, then so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out, one way or another. Right, now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost. Perhaps if I pointed out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claims earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. And should I? This one is far more selfish than Edgeworth. Yeah. Nah, fuck it. I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of events. Huh? 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 Is it this dismissal notice? This goes is release was posted with immediate effect and says all rights of the manager. Oh right, that's right, because he tried to help him escape from prison. Oh yeah. I'm gonna save really quick just in case. Yeah, he said he quit, but he resigned. Right. Or maybe but he was like fired, yeah. You tried to help him! It's just a few moments ago you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. Ah, well, yes? In other words, you claim to have left the post of Chief Warder of your own volition. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. A dismissal notice? And the name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. What? What? It's mine? Ah, my hands. So you didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay. No, there's been some mistake. I'm sure. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it? If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Vigil, rather. It's time to break the seal and have you remember. No time for laughing. I gotta get in some before trauma happens. Ah, shit. According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on the 17th of June, 10 years ago. Why not 17th of? Is this a British thing? And on that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. The 17th of June. Was that the professor's execution? Professor. As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would be present throughout the proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave. Yes, the British write the dates backwards. It's not even that they write the dates backwards, they just need an "of" in there. The convict came back to life? In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness. They go day, month, year. Oh, I know. I understand that part. When you're just saying the day and then the month, there should be an of, because otherwise it doesn't make fucking sense. However, the witness claims that that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, a gunshot rang out from over his shoulder, and the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Hold on, I want to check something really quick, because this better become relevant. Presented... aiding and abetting the escape of this from this prison of convict blank just prior to his execution. Yeah, okay. I hope that comes up, because it's big. Give my boy Genshin, it's so dirt. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Yes. Yes! Yes! Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing execution at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I know that there are memories in your head that explain what happened on June 17th, or the 17th of June, 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Mr. Vigil? Yes, the whole prison. It was complete chaos. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. The shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane. What? What? I'll leave what I was going to say for later. Order! Order! Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned? My head, it's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, the screams. Oh my goodness. The papers. There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost. Yes, Enoch Derber. But surely those reports were exaggerated. There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? In Lowgate Cemetery, at plot number 139, blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering. I've reviewed the police records from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigation team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved. Are you suggesting that a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom? Yes, and I was suspected of doing it, of using the mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape. You did what? It's in the card, dude. I remember now, the horror of it all coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called by the governor's... You're making me dizzy, dude. Stop. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower. I'm sorry, Daly. This is a serious business, but I cannot help you, no. As Chief Warder, you were responsible for overseeing the execution afore, eh? Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard want to have a wee word with you about it. You better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person. Please stop. You're, like, legitimately making me dizzy. As soon as he told me that, my mind was just went completely blank. And And the next thing I knew, Professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over. Ah! So he attempted suicide by jumping out of the tower. Yeah. And he's dead. Took 10 years for that fall to catch up with him. Order! Order! Bailiff, fetch a doctor at once. Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day.
Voice acting.
Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed
really
ghost
bad game lag.
on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
Bam, bam, bam. To be continued. So, remember how I said I was gonna go a little further? Just knew I could have, would you? Just know I could have. Oh, wait. Hey, oh, hey. You're the one who said no funny. You said no funny business. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and end here because it's a little after 1. I'd like some time to get prepped, and we have an investigation next week or the next time, which may or may not be tomorrow. I need to decide on what I'm gonna do. I may go back to Mariomon tomorrow if I do decide to stream, just as a simpler means of being able to cut myself off in case things go on. So, you know, probably that if I do stream at all. We're going to go ahead and do some raiding to whoever be streaming at the moment. Who's doing stuff and who's doing things? Zaid is doing some repo. He just went live. Cher's doing some stuff. Joe is also still doing things. You know what? Why not? We're gonna raid Joe today. I just feel like raiding Joe. He's doing some WoW hardcore at the moment. So let's get you guys on over to Joe. You guys can hang out with him, make comments through his little boy, and watch all these guys go off and do the things that they're planning to do. Well, yeah, I may see you guys tomorrow, but as I said, I have a meeting, so they're around 2:30, so there is a very good chance that we won't. 20 minutes later, we could have gotten shepherd. I don't know what that means. Anyway, goodbye! Get off of my ship! Bye, bad watchers.